Digital transformation promises to modernize your business, increase productivity, and build better systems to beat your competition. However, if you think you'll do that by buying some off-the-shelf software, you're making a huge mistake. But since 2018, Microsoft changed the market and the low-code revolution began. What does that mean for your business? How can you transform your business using this technology? Well, this is what we're going to cover in this video. In this video, I want to introduce you to the best tools in the market that will transform your business using the best low-code technology available. First, we'll put a definition to the buzzword digital transformation. Then I will show you why you cannot rely on buying software. Your business needs to create its own technology. You'll understand why low-code development platforms are the only real option for your organization to avoid unnecessary expenditure, both time and money, because while you need to build your own solutions, doing that is not your core business. Finally, I'll show you why Microsoft is your best ally and how they have the best toolset in the market for digital transformation. Digital transformation is a buzzword you've probably heard too much. So let's give it a common sense definition that will allow us to move forward. Digital transformation doesn't really have anything to do with digital. The keyword here is transformation, and we could just say business transformation. Technology just happens to be one of the drivers of this transformation. Process improvements, process management, process reengineering, organizational change, work culture, people. These are the other key areas that are often neglected. No matter how great the technology is, digital transformations have a high failure rate because organizations don't invest enough in the people and process sides of the equation. There is no software that fits 100% your business requirements. It used to be ERPs like SAP and Oracle, Sage, but they lost their key strengths long ago, which is integration and interoperability between all your business processes. Now, the best strategy for your company is to buy only the best of breed software you'll need for the core business processes of your organization, and then build and integrate your own custom solutions for the rest of the processes. For example, you won't likely change your core SAP-based finance process. However, you would love to have a customized approval process on top of it that's more user-friendly. And as another example, if you use, let's say, Shopify as a main piece of technology that supports your business, you may be lacking other software that integrates with that data you're collecting there. And can you buy your way out of that problem? Well, in my experience, the best move is to build your own custom solutions on top of that core technology using low-code development tools. Low-code technologies enable you to integrate and build on top of your existing software so that you can keep your core software and processes clean, but you don't stop innovation from happening. And why is low-code so powerful? Well, let's imagine an example of a process in one of your departments where if you automate part of it, you can cut about 20 hours per week of manual input. But it's so specific to your way of doing things that there is not a tool in the market that covers it without being an overkill. Now, this is the perfect scenario where building a custom solution with low-code technologies is the best course of action. And let's describe as an example this process we're talking about. Imagine that you have some subcontractors, you are handing them a PDF they have to fill out, and these people then send this filled PDF into a common inbox in your organization. Then you have your people reading those PDFs and inputting the data into your ERP system. What if we could automate that? For example, automating the reading of those forms with artificial intelligence, form processing technologies, and then having a special application so that your people can validate that the AI got that data correctly, and then when it's validated, it's automatically inputted into your ERP system. With such a solution, you could be reducing those 20 weekly hours to maybe 2 or 3 hours of one person just reviewing that the data has been correctly processed. I'll show you in a moment a couple of examples of things I've built using Microsoft low-code development tools. But first, let's reflect for a moment on the return on investment we're talking about. First, faster and cheaper innovation, as you don't need to rely on costly programmers to build these things for you. Let's save the traditional programmers for when low-code alone is not enough. Of course, if you find consultants that have both skills, like myself, then you have the great fit. Second, you'll be able to digitize parts of your business you never thought you could because of the lack of budget. And third, you can even train some of your people to build their own solutions up to an extent. If they are already trying that using Excel, why not enable them to build their own little applications to make their lives easier and thus your business more productive? And why am I repeating Microsoft again and again? Well, because Microsoft has its own low-code development platform, and it's called the Power Platform, and it's the most mature and complete suite of tools in the market. Even even better, if you have Microsoft 365, Office 365, Outlook, Teams, SharePoint, etc., you already have it available in your organization, and you can even start using the free licenses to start developing your own automations and digitalizing your business. Now, let's see a couple of examples. One of the most well-known tools of the Power Platform is actually Power BI, and here you have a report embedded inside a application built with Power Apps. More of that in a moment. Now with Power BI, we can build any type of reports that we want, whether it's sales or testing samples from machinery you are testing as a part of an industrial process, or sales, or in this case, incidents. And for example, here we have the ranking incidents per elevator in this case, the location of our resources or elevators, and monthly distribution of these cases. Well, this is just an example of what we can build with Power BI, and in this case, embedded inside the whole application, where users are inputting data, working with the data, and then can see actual information, useful information for them in one of the sections of the application. And now this is the typical view of Power Apps. Power Apps is Microsoft's answer to build your own custom applications. Now these applications can be your answer to replace your outdated and, quite honestly, unusable Excel sheets that are running your business, and also can be used to create pixel-perfect applications that fit your niche use cases where you need a specialized user interface to fit your needs. In this case, we have here a set of records that we see in a table, which of course we can filter just like in Excel. We can filter by types, by contents, for example, and whatnot. And you can also export to Excel and import data from Excel. Now, if we, for example, go inside the record, we can see customized forms that we have created just for this use case, with even this is what it's called a business process flow, to guide the user through the resolution, in this case of an incident, but could be anything. Now, of course, if you want to relate data, so for example, this case, what's the account that's suffering this case, or what's the affected resource that's being affected by this incident, then we can search here in our data, in our database, or even in an advanced lookup to enable the users to do very sophisticated searches here. For more pixel-perfect scenarios, for example, we have here as a part of this application, a screen where we can use drag-and-drop functionalities to schedule services with our operators. In this case, of course, we have only me, but imagine how useful it would be for you to build your own application to cover your own scheduling needs, whether it is shifts in your business, or services, or maybe appointments. And finally, we have this example of a single-purpose application built for this correcting of automatically processed documents, in this case invoices, where we have here the invoices left to review by the user, which we can hide, and then here in the right we can see the actual document. Then here in the left we can see, for example, these are the amount of confidence the AI model has that it has correctly processed this information. So if, for example, the invoice path is wrong, then the user can change it to whatever number it is and hit it submit, and then it will automatically be inserted into the ERP system. I hope I've been able to inspire you into imagining new ways of digitizing your business. Thank you for getting this far. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button if you found this content useful, and remember that you can hire my consulting services via the contact form in my website. You'll find the link below in the description below. Thank you very much, and see you soon.